was awesome. It put a smile on my face. Steve Burke from Lynn, Massachusetts. Nice job. Steve will be back, and Noah will be back in the after party and do some more music for us. But let's hear it one more time for Steve and Noah. Come on now.
All right, Noah and Steve.
All right. That's right. I think, Steve, you're the first Lynn guy that we've had here. You're raising the property value here in Lynn with that cool jazz right there. Welcome everybody. Thanks. Here let's just play some music and enjoy ourselves. I know a wife and a husband. They had a shiny little kid. When that kid turned 16, you won't believe what he did. He smoked a lot of marijuana. He snorted cocaine too. Told his parents he was gonna drop out of school. The father pounded on the table. The mother hollered and she screamed. They ran him down to the doctor. Doctor, what does this mean? He put them all on Prozac. Right then, right there. He said you'll still have your problems, but now you just won't care. He prescribed a little therapy, some supplementary drugs, but he didn't write a script down for a little more love, just a little more love. What the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing, at least it won't make things worse. But when you're looking at your lifetime from the end when you are done, you know it might look a little better. See a little more love. I know a wife and a husband, and they had a shiny little kid. When that kid turned 16, you won't believe what she did. She said, Mom, I'm sleeping over Susan's. That was just a big lie, 'cause what she really was doing was staying out all night. And when her parents found out, they cried boo-hoo-hoo. And then they called the radio talk show. They asked him, what should we do? He said, send her off to boot camp. That was his advice. It was good for his ratings, but it wasn't very nice. Just a little more love. What the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing, at least it won't make things worse. When you're looking at your lifetime from the end when you are done, you know it might look a little better. See a little more love. I can see that you're a tough guy. Oh, you won't be pushed around. You are not gonna take it. You are good at putting your foot down. You might get killed by lightning. You might get hit by a truck. But if you are not that lucky, you might just wind up spending years in a rest home without a whole lot to do. But look back on what you did with the time God gave you. Just a little more love. What the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing, at least it won't make things worse. When you're looking at your lifetime from the end when you are done, you know it might look a little better. Big, rough, tough guy to see a little more love. It might look a little better. See a little more love.
Woo! Thank you, Don.
You're welcome. And the crowd goes mild. I mean wild. Let's hear it for Nebraska in the house. The Hansons, there they are right there.
Woo!
What about Kansas? Kansas in the house. Alan D. Big.
All right.
There you go. And who knows where everybody else is from here. I wanted to start out, since we got two people on the bill from Lynn, I thought I'd start out with a song that had a huge double negative in the chorus just to set the tone for the rest of the night. That's right. That's what I did right there. Okay, here we go. I've been practicing this song because eventually I'm going to be able to be with you all, and when that's possible, I want to have this song ready because I'm going to drag my wife out to a public place and we're going to hug a whole mess of people. So I want to be rehearsed and practiced for it when it comes out. All right. I've got $300 bills that are all brand new. They are begging me to think of something cool to do. How about I'll take you downtown and spend them all on you? I don't want to stay home tonight. We have worked so hard for so many years. Built a home, a life, a family, and 2 careers. Saved our money for the future, now the future's here. I don't want to stay home tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home, can't stay home. I need you and me. How it used to be every week on Friday night. There's so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home again tonight. Me and Michael, Johnny, Richard, Ruthie, and Joan all had bouts with cancer last year, you know. If cancer was a man, I'd punch him in the throat. I don't want to stay home tonight. And time isn't sentimental, it doesn't seem to care about your plans or your hopes and dreams. It just keeps track of your minutes and it wipes the slate clean. I don't want to stay home tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home, can't stay home. I need you and me. How it used to be every week on Friday night. There is so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home again tonight. Well, I know we can't party like we did before. Can't stay out till 4 in the morning no more. But the house is paid off and the kids are all grown. What the hell have we been working for? Let's take a nap. Take our inhalers. Take a multivitamin. And then go out to hear some music with all of our friends who didn't die from the way we used to party back then. I don't want to stay home tonight. And time isn't sentimental, it doesn't seem to care about your plans or your hopes and dreams. It just keeps track of your minutes and it wipes the slate clean. I don't want to stay home tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home, can't stay home. I need you and me. How it used to be every week on Friday night. There's so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home, can't stay home. I can't stay home again tonight. But I am.
Very good.
Woo, 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 woo. All right. Okay, so here, this is my new thing now. For those of you that come all the time, let's see. There's several of you here, Nebraska and Sarah and Miss Latrice and all of you guys, the sort of loyal few, the mighty few. I'm gonna let you watch me write this song. So last week I played a song. I just had a verse and a chorus too. So I tweaked. Now that I feel the pressure of you guys watching me write this thing, it forces me to actually get the job done. I feel you. I feel your pressure. And so I have another verse for this song now. And and in my old incarnation, when I was in a playing in public, in where I could actually be around the people, I wouldn't do this. But this is just a way to sort of let you see the process, I guess. So here, this is I'm not sure what it's going to be called, but I'll tell you what the idea is. The idea is that I've always been amazed by this scenario here. Well, the 5 people in a family, 5 children, and the parents have problems. They're not able to take care of the kids the way they should be taken care of. They have mental health problems. They have drug and alcohol problems. Whatever. They're not getting what they need from their parents. And 4 of the 5 kids will turn out the way you'd expect, and not being able to function in the world that well. Nobody's surprised by that. But often or occasionally you'll see somebody who figured out how to be everything that they were taught not to be. And I just think that that the miracle of that is underappreciated. So this is one of my things that should have been a 40-page story, and I'm squeezing it down into this song. But anyway, here it is now. It's got it's 2/3 of a song now. So here, this is for you guys that come all the time. I love you, and here we go. You were taught by your world that being kind and you were taught by your world that empathy and kindness were the kind of things that made a person weak. They said push and grab and fight every minute of your life, trample those between you and what you believe you need. But from the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all the years of fear and insecurity, singing cruelty's always weak, but love and empathy can save you from a life that's filled with selfishness and greed. Gentle is the strongest thing to be. It's not the color of your eyes, it's not your hypnotizing smile, it's not any of the many things that everyone can see. No, it's the way you always knew what they told you wasn't true. It's how you made yourself the person that they taught you not to be. That's what makes you beautiful to me. You know it is not your fault that heroin and alcohol made them both too ill to give their children what they really need. But it sure would have been nice to be encouraged once or twice, to feel safe at night and have a life with just a little normalcy. But from the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all the years of fear and insecurity, singing with hatred in your heart. You just remember who you are. When you feel hatred in your heart, you just remember who you are. And that underneath the weight of hate, your heart cannot be free. Forgiving is the stronger thing to be. It's not the color of your eyes, it's not your hypnotizing smile, it's not any of the many things that everyone can see. No, it's the way you always knew what they told you wasn't true. It's how you made yourself the person that they taught you not to be. That's That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful to me.
Aw, Don.
Woo! Nice one. Nice.
Oh, beautiful.
Like it. Whole bunch.
All
Like
right,
it a
so
lot.
should I work on it and finish it? Or
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's worth it.
Yes, please.
All right. Okay, now I want caught up with me. I don't know. Some songwriters out there, sometimes you write something, you don't realize that like you're halfway, like 3/4 of the way through it, and you're like starting to get a little welled up in your eyeballs there. That one snuck up on me a little bit. I'll have to play it more so I can toughen up a little bit. That's right. All right. So now what I wanted to say to you, and which is what I said last week, and I've thought more about this. So that song. A bunch of my last songs that I've written are like really should have been novels or short stories. I've taken these gigantic ideas with character development and all that and trying to wedge them into these like songs with 3 verses and a chorus. It's impossible. It's insufferable. I'm exhausted from the process. So I'm determined now, Sarah, to write a song that is so simple and so bland and so not complicated. And I've already started writing it. It's going to take 6 minutes to write, and it's going to be the most popular song that I've ever written. I promise you. And this is how it's going to go. It's going to go like this. Let me get it right. I think it needs a wah-wah pedal in it. I love you, baby. I love you, baby. Let me see that thing. Boom, chaka wang, wang, boom, chaka wang. But do you like it so far? It's good, right? Right? That's it. I was doing this as a gag, right? But now every morning I wake up in the morning, I'm like, boom, chaka wang, wang, boom, chaka wang. My mom wants me to read and try to use my brain, but I just want to see my baby, boom, chaka wang. Ow, boom, chaka wang, wang, boom, chaka wang. Like this thing, like I could write this while I was doing a trigonometry test. You know what I mean? Like, and then I promise you, if I put this out in the world like under an alias, if they don't know it's a folk singer that did it, it will be the most popular song I've ever written. You won't be able to go to a wedding ever without the dance floor DJ playing it. I promise you, that's how it is. And then at my concerts, the people will start coming up to me and they'll be like, "Don, we like your shows. We like those wordy songs with the deep thoughts in them, but we really like a little more boom chaka wang." All right, there we go. That's the end of that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to play this song for my wife. I got some friends here that have been with me a long time. Some like Steve knows my wife, and there's other people hiding in the crowd there that known her a long time. And this is for her. This is a song about I don't know what it's about, but here it goes. I was like 25 when I wrote this. Didn't I know you in 74? You were wild, you were out of control. Hitchhiking far and wide for 10 months at a time, sleeping by the side of the road. All day long you would walk hiking boots, Birkenstocks. You lived on black beans and rice. The wind in your hair, my friend, the freedom you knew back then still can't be seen in the eyes of a waitress with 2 kids at her side. Didn't I know you in 74? You were wild, you were out of your mind. Ram Dass and Alan Watts all night in truck stops, your poetry on highway signs. The road was your teacher then, sleeping on beaches and reaching for things in the sky. The wind in your hair, my friend, the freedom you knew back then still can't be seen in the eyes of a watchman with 2 kids at his side. When it's midnight, I work the graveyard shift. Daylight, I sleep, you watch the kids. Noon time, you're ironing your uniform. Midnight, you return, leave the engine on a kiss, a hug at the door. A long time since 74. I left a note for you, a few things we need to do. It's hanging up on the wall. It says power bill must be paid. Both the kids have been bathed. Your brother from Florida called. Round and around it goes, where it goes no one knows. Put your feet up for a while. There's wine in the fridge, I'm late, give me a kiss. You know, in your slow moving smile, I still see that vagabond child. Didn't I know you in 74? You were wild, you were out of control. Hitchhiking far and wide for 10 months at a time, sleeping by the side of the road. The road was your teacher then, sleeping on beaches and reaching for things in the sky. The wind in your hair, my friend, the freedom you knew back then still can't be seen in the eyes of 2 vagabonds in disguise. When it's midnight, I work the graveyard shift. Daylight, I sleep, you watch the kids. No time, you're ironing your uniform. Midnight, you return, leave the engine on a kiss, a hug and a sigh. 2 vagabonds in disguise.
Oh,
Nice.
I love that. It's awesome.
All right, well, there you go. Who are those 2 kids?
Yeah.
And that photograph was taken in Amarillo, Texas, 1975. I think I was 18 in that shop. We had been hitchhiking for about 6 months, and we wound up hitchhiking for 3 of the next 5 years. Isn't that weird? Like, come on, man. Like, who is with the person they hitchhiked with for 5 years, 40 years later? Only us. We're still just together, still doing it. You know, she's all right. Let's keep it on her for a minute, I think. In the 18, 19, 20, 30, 42, do you believe it, years that we have been wed? I've wondered if you ever heard a word I said. until I sit past that remote control over here, and you told me to blow it out my ear. Love you, you're a sassy brat. You make me mad, you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. When my fans call up and say that I'm great, you tell them that that is a huge mistake. That if they had to live with me, they would understand what a big pain in the ass I am. I love you, you sassy brat. You make me mad, you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. There are men that like women who they can dominate, to bring them breakfast in bed and always tell them that they're great. Well, my sassy lady never does that for me, but at least a life with her is definitely not boring. She says if you want me to believe that you're great, do a couple loads of laundry around here someday. Hey pal, it's only because you're still kinda cute that I haven't already gotten rid of you. I love you, you sassy brat. You make me mad, you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. You say the kids have both gone to the show. How about a little quickie before they come home? And I say, I suppose you think you're really slick, the way that you keep emphasizing little and quick. It's not that funny, square number 15. I'm not that sure I love you, you're a sassy brat. You hurt my big fat ego and you make me mad. Please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. Sassy bratty lady has been hanging around here, driving me crazy. 42 years. If I could ever afford to see a psychiatrist, I'd ask him, why the hell do I like being treated like this? We were in bed, but we were still awake. You said I really love you in this life we've made. I said, hey, can I quote you on what you just said? Told me if I did, you'd punch me in the head. I love you, you sassy brat. You make me mad, you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half. Let me grow old with my sassy brat. I hope it's not too much to ask. Let me grow old with my sassy brat.
All right, God. Woo!
Alright. I'm on a roll now. I'm on a Terry roll. I'm thinking all about Terry right now. I'm the only one that called her that, Terry. She changed her. She wants to be called Teresa now, but she's Terry to me. So here's something that nobody has ever heard. I'm writing another book. I swore I'd never write another book. It was the last book I wrote. Almost killed me. It almost killed me. It was so hard to do. And nobody buys CDs anymore. Nobody under the age of 100 anyway. And but they'll still buy books for some reason. So this is a little excerpt from my someday to be released second book, maybe. Who knows? I certainly have plenty of time at home these days. perhaps maybe I could finish this thing. But this is just continuing on this subject here. When my mother died, after my parents had been married 51 years, only my father knew what he lost. Do you know what I mean? Like, only my father knew that. And one of the things that I think that you lose in that situation, that you can't get back, is there's nobody you can talk to like the person you grew up with, that you married and stayed married to for 50 years. Like, there's a level of conversation that is not possible between you and any other human being. And in our case, it has this, what's been sustainable for us, why we have sustained, is a combination of wanting everything to be okay and being, and sassy, right? And sassy. And this is just a dialogue between my wife and I, and so you'll have to pay attention here. I think. Let's see. So it's just back and forth. I'm not going to say, and then Dawn said, and then she said. You could see it if you were reading it. But let's see. Dawn's going to talk this way, and Teresa's going to talk this way. Okay, so if it's this way, it's Teresa talking. If this way, it's Dawn talking. So to set the scene here, we had just had our last Christmas party at our house. So the last time we had Christmas at our house was the last time it was going to be at our house, because we're too old now to do all the work, right? So we were like just sort of relishing the fact that we have this great family and they were all here. And the other thing that's important is that my family is really funny. Like when we're all together, the place is just full of laughter, like one after another, like people just buckled over laughing in the, all of that. So here it is. After that, everybody's gone and we're talking. So Teresa talks this way. Dawn, I love how this house feels right now. Me too. Sitting here, I can almost see the laughter from the past 6 hours lingering near the ceiling light. I think the walls in a home are absorbent. Tomorrow morning, all this lingering laughter and love will be a permanent part of this place. Oh, Jesus. Are you going to get all Ram Dass on me now? And then, affecting a holier-than-thou tone, she continues. In the spiritual teaching, it is written that if you do enough LSD, the walls of the temple will reveal the history of all the enlightened souls who have ever lived between them. You think you're funny, don't you? Ram Dass just died. Well, I guess he won't be able to be here now will he?
Oh, jeez.
Too soon? Yeah, I think maybe too soon. Seriously though, when I was installing alarms in people's houses, there were homes I went into where the silence felt toxic. I remember I sometimes felt that if I laughed, I would be the first person to ever do so in that space. I was just messing with you. Of course I know what you mean. Silence is a complex thing. A few minutes ago, while we were just sitting here, I was appreciating how beautiful the silence was. Of course, then you started talking and screwed it all up. I'm kidding. All adult children of this is still her. All adult children of alcoholics know the difference between the sweet quiet of a happy home and the brutal quiet of an unhappy one. After my parents would have a big fight, the thing I remember most is the icy silence that followed, sometimes for days. I remember thinking that silence should be an opportunity for a kid to feel safe and daydream about sunshiny kid stuff, not an unleashing of worry and feelings of not being able to make things better. I never forgot how it felt, and I'm so happy that we were able to create a home where quiet is a good thing. Yeah, this house has had a ton of laughter in it. I wonder how the young couple will react when they're spending their first night in this house 50 years from now and they realize that all the walls are filled with laughter. I'm sure they'll think that the place is haunted. Right. Maybe we should leave them a note saying that we couldn't afford fiberglass to insulate the walls, so we just filled them up with a bunch of guffaws that we had hanging around. Nice try. I'm going to bed. Get some sleep. You'll be funnier in the morning. Namaste, Bodhisattva. Namaste, shithead. Ta-da!
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Don.
That's funny.
That's good.
All right. Let me play a song for you. Then we'll take a break. It's not an intermission. It's just a chance to pass the hat, basically. So I say this every week. I apologize to people if you've heard this before, but I think it's one of the important things. This is a free concert. If you don't have any money, you're always welcome here. And when I go and play at the Rose Garden, when we're back, or any other venue, if you're broke, and you want to come, you just reach out to me, and I'll figure out how to get you in the show. I don't want anybody to feel like the fact that they're out of work means that they can't, that they don't belong where I am. Okay, so you are welcome here. Don't No pressure. But if you are doing okay and you want to help out the Rose Garden and the food pantry and what we're calling the Dawn White Ramen Noodle Fund, um, then we're going to put a little something up here where you can send something to Venmo or to PayPal. Or if you're old like me and can't figure those things out, we have a mailing address where you could write a check and mail a check, like put a stamp on a thing like that, right? Put a stamp on a letter and mail it. It used to take about a week. We might not get that check until after the election, but that's a different story, and don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll get there to us. So we'll give you those options. I'm going to play this song just before we take just a 3-minute break or so, and then this one has been with me a long time. I've been talking to Tim Mason from the old Vienna Coffeehouse, which is where I kind of got started, here in Massachusetts, and we were talking about this song and how many friends it's made me over the years. So here you go. There is a little girl with pretty curls. She's about 5 years old, and she is waiting at the gate for her dad to come home. When he pulls around the corner in his shiny white car, she feels the magic light up in her heart. And he picks her up and he holds her. He says he missed her. He's glad that she is here. As the child lays her head on his shoulder, she whispers these words in his ear. Daddy, I know exactly what love is. Love is real, simple, and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now she is 20 and there's plenty of love everywhere. She's getting married, so her family and her friends are all there. They've gathered this morning to stand at her side as she waves goodbye to this time in her life. And they each take a moment to hold her and to tell her what she means to them. In a world that seems to keep getting colder, she has been blessed with a warm family and friends. She says, I know exactly what love is. Love is real, simple, and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Oh, they are older and no one told her it got crazy like this. They're going to night school, they're working jobs too. They are raising 3 kids. The youngest one is crying with a bruise on her knee. She needs attention and she needs sympathy. And when she picks her up and she holds her, that old magic lights up in her heart. And as the child lays her head on her shoulder, she knows exactly why they're working so hard. Little girl, I know exactly what love is. Love is real, simple, and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now they are 60 and their history spans 40 odd years. They have buried their parents. Now their grandkids are here. There's something about the way they look in each other's eyes that speaks softly about the meaning of a life. And when he he puts his arm out to hold her. It feels so familiar and warm. She thinks love is an expanding endeavor till your last breath from the moment you're born. Now she is 80 and she hates being in this nursing home. Her man's been gone now for a long while and she feels so alone. She closes her eyes and she begins to pray that a little comfort might just come her way. And God lifts her up and he holds her. And she remembers this feeling she has. She is not a woman whose life is almost over. She's a little girl being held by her dad. And God, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. And God, love is real simple. Love is real simple. Love is real simple and true.
Oh, Dawn. Beautiful, Dawn. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. I thought you said this guy was funny. Sarah, what was that? What happened there?
That was amazing. Life-changing. Read the chat.
Worst comedy show in the history of Zoom. That's what you're experiencing, ladies and gentlemen. The worst comedy show in the entire history of Zoom. All right. So we'll be back in 3 minutes. If you can donate, donate. If not, I love you. I'll play till about 20 past. Then we'll get Steve Burke and Noah to play a little tune. We got a special guest, at least one, maybe two, and hiding in the balcony, I guess. And then we'll you're welcome to hang out with us if you want. So thank you, and I'll see you in 3 minutes.
Woo!
All right.
Hey, we're back. All right. So, got some friends of mine in the crowd tonight that are, and some people coming later who've known me a long time, and so I'm gonna play this one. I had to modify it a little bit because it's got some curse words in it and all, but I think I can do it anyway. So this is for those people, whether watching here on Zoom or out in the periphery, Facebook or YouTube, and you guys are welcome to come over here. I'm in the chat. Brandon generally will put the Zoom information so you can come and join over here if you want to later. That's up to you. But anyway, for those of you that remember me when I was just trying to figure this out, just playing and not knowing what I was doing and just being a kid. So I don't believe I played this one for any of these shows, and maybe there's a good reason why. Anyway, so if I'm gonna send this to my friend Jim, who's probably watching somewhere out here. This could turn out to be a pretty good gig. I mean, the sound system's good enough. They got a microphone, something on the floor, looks like a monitor. The crowd looked good when they were coming in, except the guy down the front who's buzzed. I hope he doesn't try to interrupt the show. Could be a long night if he does. I don't know about nothing, I don't know. You should have seen me when I was 23. I could sure put on a show. I wave my arms around and jump up and down for the whole entire show. I was trying to distract the audience from all the things I didn't know. The woman that hired me pulled me aside earlier today. She said the pastor and his wife are coming tonight. Dawn, be careful what you say. Well, I said, bleep him. Then I said, I'm just kidding. I promise I will not curse. It was funny to me, but it was plain to see it was not funny to her. I don't know about nothing, I don't know. Well, you should have seen me when I was 33. I could sure put on a show. I had 2 good songs and I had learned to play 5 chords by then. And if things go right, maybe tonight I will play all 5 of them. Well, I could tell that the crowd was nervous when I opened with this song. And they were thinking I would be a lot funnier, and they were hoping that they weren't wrong. But now some time's gone by and I can see them smiling and we're having a pretty good time. And if the drunk down front will just pass out, I'm thinking this could be a real good night. I don't know about nothing, I don't know. You should have seen me when I was 23. I could sure put on a show. I couldn't play or sing, I would be bluffing for the whole entire show. I still do that, I'm doing it right now. I was hoping that the audience couldn't see all the things I didn't know. There you go.
Right.
All right. Oh man, what do they call those deep tracks? That was a deep track. All right. So Sarah, are you still there, girl? I want to say something to you.
I am right here. I'm just turning my video right now. Here I am. Hi.
So I got this new thing I'm going to do, and I want you to be the first one to consider it. So next week, if you want, there's some songs that you request, Elijah, and those songs like that. I'll play whatever you want next week if you introduce it. How's that sound?
Okay.
Like the first time I heard this, or this is why I want to hear this, and then I'll I'm just trying to think of how to reward people that come all the time, and so all you guys, Tommy and Marlene and Karen, all people who come all the time. If you have something you want me to play that I don't normally play, make a short introduction to it, and then you can become part of the show. How's that sound, Sarah? Deal?
Okay.
All right, next week you're on. All right.
All right.
Our kids are grown, they're both in their 20s. They live at home, they are never gonna leave. And why should they go? They've got it good here, Their food, their phone, their rent is free. They would have to be out of their minds to leave. But I was thinking, what if things were different? Living here at home with you and me. What if we decided we could act like they both did when they were in their teens? So wake up, mama, climb out of this window. I have got the key, let's steal our daughter's car. We'll both get really drunk, but we'll put a big dent in her trunk. And we'll drive real fast down the thoroughfare. If we get a speeding ticket, we won't care. We'll be the ones up all night acting wild, and they'll be the ones up all night worrying. Wiggle, mama, climb out of this window. Come on out, be 16 with me. Hey, picture our kids calling all of our friends up, and then asking them if they know where we are. Of course, all our friends will lie and say they ain't seen us all night, but we'll be standing right beside them while they're on the phone, smoking, drinking, and carrying on when we come strolling home on Sunday morning. Around 10 o'clock while the neighbors walk to church. Our kids will ask us where we've been, and then they'll ask us again, and we will just make up a great big lie and swear that it's the truth until the day we die. And they'll be the ones trying to find the truth out, and we'll be the ones who are lying through our teeth. And under pressure, we'll confess that we had unprotected sex. That will gross them out so much they might just start to think about moving out. If turnabout is fair play in this life, and what better way to encourage them to live than to give them both a dose of what it was like to live with them when they were in their teens. So wake up, mama, climb out of this window. I got the key, let's steal our daughter's car. We will both get really drunk, or we'll put a big dent in her trunk, and no one will know where we are until we come home in the police car. We'll be the ones up all night acting wild. They'll be the ones up all night worrying. Wake up, mama, climb out of this window. Oh man, be careful, you're not as young as you used to be. That's 40 feet down there. I should have brought a ladder. You know what, the kids are both drunk and passed out. Let's just go out the front door. Come on out and be 16 with me, 'cause I remember you when you were 16. You were the most beautiful thing that I had ever seen. So wake up, mama, wake up, mama, wake up, mama, be 16 with me. Woo!
All right.
Thank you. All right, here we go. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read a story, sing a song, and then my part of this thing is gonna be over. And I've been getting during the little break there. I got some emails and stuff. You can do whatever you want, everybody, but I'm thinking that the after party is shaping up to be something worth hanging around for. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. I don't want to build it up too much. You might not think the same way about these people as I do. But anyway, I'm going to play this for Steve. Read this for Steve Burke because he's a Lynn guy, and only a Lynn guy would understand this. Hi, Jen from Michigan. Hello, darling. How are you with your new baby? Oh. I wish I could just climb right through here and squeeze you people. All right. So Steve Burke is gone, so he won't even see this. But in any case, I'm gonna read this here. This is a story. This is
There he is.
there he is. Hey, Steve, I'm gonna read this thing because you're a Lynn guy, and I so this is just a little piece about a wedding that I went to, a wedding in Lynn. So the backstory to this is. Before the Dawn White that you're seeing here today came into existence, the other one would like to hang around bar rooms and put stuff up his nose that wasn't good for him. And there was a bar here in Lynn called Frank's. And Frank's was the wildest place that ever there was in this world. I'm telling you, it was a biker bar, and it was just lawlessness there. There was like, I don't know how to explain to you. You look like civilized people. I don't want to frighten you, but Marsha, hello, my God, look at everybody's here, my old friends. We gotta figure out how to put a Zoom button. I mean, a hug button on Zoom. Where's my hug button? I got reactions, record, share, screen. No hug button here. But if there was one, Marsha, I would climb right through there and hug you right there. All right. Anyway, so. This place was, I don't want to get into it, but just picture the wildest scene from a bar in a movie that you ever been in, and that's the way it was. It was just lawlessness in there. And I loved it. At that time of my life, it was great. Couldn't wait to go there every day. Steve Burke, don't nod your head like you know what I'm talking about. You're a young man. This was before your time. Now, so I was going to this wedding, right? And we're driving down the causeway to Nahant. Nahant's the town near here, and I asked my wife about the groom. I didn't know anything about the groom. I only knew the bride, and she said the only thing I know about him is that he was barred for life from Frank's bar. And I just was stunned. I just thought to myself, I had a lot of personal experiences with that place, and I just kept driving on the causeway to this place. Wondering what in the world would you have to do to get barred from this place? And I was just fascinated to meet this person. Okay, and so this is a story about what happened at the wedding. It's short. What I just said there is longer than the story. Which is, that's something that you have to deal with me. The way the things I say before the songs are longer than the songs are. Okay, but here we go. The story is called 5 Minutes at My Friend's Wedding, and this chapter is called The 5 Minutes, if I can find it. Sorry, I'm trying to get this show ready for Vegas, and it's just not working out. Here we go. I got it. All right. At the time of her sister's wedding, Deborah was 21. 2 decades of multiple sclerosis had twisted her into a tiny, contorted young woman. She sat in her wheelchair at a table with her family near the dance floor. The muscles in her neck had long ago surrendered the fight to keep her head held up. Her head rested upon her shoulder, giving her, I thought, a skewed view of the proceedings. As the party was winding down, the DJ played a slow song. It was a waltz. I watched the groom, this is the guy now, right? I watched the groom walk over to Deborah. He bent down, tucked his 2 hands under her arms, and lifted her out of her wheelchair. Her legs stayed curled up beneath her as he carried her onto the dance floor. Her chin rested upon his shoulder. The floor cleared. Everyone stopped and watched. When the groom's back was to our table, we could see Deborah's face set upright atop his shoulder and looking wide-eyed around the room. Her body was hidden from our view. It would have been easy to picture her face attached to a young, healthy girl moving perfectly in step with him, except that her face could not conceal her lifetime in a wheelchair. Both of Deborah's sisters are absolutely gorgeous. They are petite, fair-skinned, and stunning. It is reasonable to assume that they have each had more than their fair share of attention from young men. I pictured the perfectly coherent and articulate girl behind Deborah's eyes, peering out at a world that routinely bestowed upon her sisters all the experiences that mark the stages of a girl's journey to adulthood. She was sitting in her wheelchair when her sisters went out on their first dates, when they went out to and returned from the prom. And here she was again today at her sister's Dawn's wedding. This face that looked at us from the shoulder of her dance partner was that of a young woman who had spent her life silently watching as the dreams of other people came true. This was a face that never expected to be beautiful. Now, through the spontaneous action of her newly anointed brother-in-law, for 5 minutes at her sister's wedding, and for the only time in her life, she was the belle of the ball. She ruled the dance floor with the handsomest man in the building. She was, in the eyes of everyone in attendance, and presumably in her own mind, quite simply the most beautiful woman in the world. She looked to me as if she would burst. When the music stopped, the man who was barred for life from Frank's Corner Bar placed her gently back into her wheelchair, kissed her on her forehead, and disappeared into the crowd.
Woo!
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Worst comedy show ever, I'm telling you. This is absolutely the worst comedy show that's in the history of comedy. All right, so this is the end of my part. I want to thank everybody at first I want to thank Brandon, the technician, who does so much behind the scenes so I can just concentrate on performing. So Brandon, we love you, everybody. And then thanks Steve Ide and Brian Quinn and everybody from the Rose Garden for all the work that you've done for so many years. And I'm really wishing you the best. And if you need anything, if you need to do fundraiser or anything like that, call me. You know what I mean? We'll rally for you guys. We want these places to be here another 50 years. So thanks for everybody. This is I'll do this tune. We'll throw the screen up for another minute or two to see if anybody else wants to donate, and then we'll have an after party, which I can hardly wait to. I can't wait for my part of this thing to be over. Now, I should be the only one who feels that way. I'm just saying. I'm the only person that can say that. All right, here we go. I overheard a man complaining how his 401k was not performing quite how he would like it to. As he sipped his double latte and continued to complain, I thought about that day. I'm getting serious now. I'm taking my glasses off. I thought about that day in 1982. We were living in the shack with the outhouse in the back. If I'm not mistaken, you were pregnant too. We thought it might be funny to count up all of our money and discuss all the investing we could do. We pulled our pockets inside out, pulled the cushions off the couch, stuck our fingers down deep inside, and then we emptied out the pockets of the jackets in our closet, but not one single penny did we find. So after the realization our financial situation was not conducive to investment at this time, we decided to invest in what we've always done best. We danced around the kitchen for a while. We do the victory dance. Well, life is such a mess, we don't know what else to do. We do the victory dance with being penniless became literal to me and you. Well, you could jump off of a building, take a bunch of pills, or you could walk around in a trance. But if you wake up in the morning on the right side of the lawn, go on, do the victory dance. I'm trying to impress the jazz guys with my 3 chords. Here they are right here. I got fired from the job I had been working at for 20 years faithfully. Oh dear, oh God, oh my, how will I ever survive without a corporation taking care of me? I was so stressed out for weeks, I couldn't eat or sleep. Didn't think that things would ever turn my way. And then a couple months went by, I began to realize, man, I really hated working at that place. So I started working for myself, improved my mental health. Now I'm happier than I've ever been before. Oh dear, oh my, oh God, I should have quit that stupid job 19 years ago. I do the victory dance when my life forces me to go out on my own. And then I just declare victory and I march my army home. There are things you can't control, things you'll never know. Some things are always left to chance. If you're a clerk or you're a farmer, work from home in your pajamas, go on, do the victory dance. Man, a lot of people doing that these days, that's right. I'm not, are you sure I don't have pajamas on now? You're not, are you? You do the victory dance when my life forces me to go out on my own. Then I just declare victory and I march my army home. There are things you can't control, things you'll never know. Some things are always left to chance. But if you wake up in the morning on the right side of the lawn, if you're a clerk or a farmer, work from home in your pajamas, if the world has gone to hell and you cannot find Purell, you're stuck in a tiny house with your children and your spouse, if they canceled all your shows and you got nowhere to go, now you're sitting in your room playing concerts on Zoom. What? And you wonder what it means to play songs to a computer screen. And across the top are little squares. And all your friends are trapped inside of there. And you say to your friends who are trapped in the squares, give me a sign, let me know you're all okay in there. Square number 15 just held up a sign that said, help me. You know, being trapped on a square in a computer screen is just a metaphor for quarantine. If you lose your money, and you still got your honey. If you lose your honey, but you still got some money. If you find it hard to cope cause your kids are all on dope, don't surrender yet. Try not to forget in this game of life we're in. In this game of life we're in. In this game of life that we are in, if you don't die, you win. Thank you.
Woo!
All right. And the crowd goes wild. The crowd is going wild. That's right. Square number 15. They totally lost their shit in that square over there. What else is going on over here? All right. So we're going to take just a 2-minute break here. And if you can donate. But if not, don't worry. If you want to hang around, we're going to do a little song circle. We'll get Steve and Noah back. And I'll introduce you to some friends of mine that I'm very excited to see in a little while. So I'll be back in 3 minutes. If anybody's here, I'll say hi. If nobody's here, we'll still have the song circle anyway. All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. I can see you. Look at you all. All right, so this is a part of the night that where we simulate and try to manufacture the community that we have all lost, and we use the technology to make us feel connected. And it to me, it's really important. I'm alone a whole mess of my life, and when I'm performing, I'm basically alone. I can shout out to a little square, but here I get to chat with my friends and. And you guys can hang around with us. And at the end of this, if you want, we can unmute everybody and we can talk or whatever. You know, I got no place to go, is what I'm saying. Okay. In any case, so the first thing I want to do is bring Steve and Noah back. They've been waiting since 7 o'clock, tolerating this old man music, and now we need them back. So let's applaud those of you that are unmuted. There you go. Go ahead. So, they don't have a microphone, so I can't talk to them. But when we go around again, Steve, I'm gonna make you grab that microphone because I want to talk to you. All right? Okay, buddy. So go ahead. Let's play something. was excellent.
Yeah.
Man, they are really bringing up the property value here. Nice job, you guys. That was awesome. Steve Burke from Lynn. So next time around, Steve, you hang around. We'll go around one time, and you guys play another one. But I want to talk to you a little bit then. So now, oh, jeez. 1, 2.
Hello.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Brandon. Brandon takes care of all those things. He's like the guy behind the curtain, you know. All right. So now I want to introduce a friend of mine that's been a friend of mine since the first time I played open mic in Massachusetts. I remember him from a place called Naked City. That's when I first met him. Naked City, for those of you, there's probably hardly nobody here knows about Naked City except Tim Mason and a few other people. This was a place. I don't want to go on too long. I want to get to the music, but I have to tell you about this place. So I've never seen anything like it in my life. It was an open mic in a building where the people who owned the building didn't know that we were using it. So let's just start with that premise, okay? So it was a hallway. So you walk up a stairway and into this big rectangular open hallway, and off the hallway were little offices, little places like an art gallery, just little rooms, not, you know. And so they would all leave, and then one of the guys who had one of the rooms just started having an open mic in this thing. Next thing you know, it was like, you know, 150 people up in there, and there was no rules, like no rules. It was amazing. And man, this would have been, I guess, the late 80s or something like that. And I started a long relationship with someone I think is just one of the most creative songwriters in our part of the world, and probably in the entire world. So his name is Jim Infantino. He's cleverly disguised. I think he's got his name spelled backwards, but let's make him feel welcome, all right? Jim Infantino. Woo! There he is.
Gonna lie down on the kitchen floor. I can't fall down from here. That's what gravity is for. And I'm not gonna think at all. I can't fall down from here. I didn't fall. And you can lie to me again, oh, but you can't let me down. I've got nowhere else to go. My head is on the ground. Got my cheek on the cold tile. I can't fall down from here. I stay like this a while and listen to the underground. No, I can't fall down. And you can't lie to me again, oh, but you can't let me down. I've got nowhere else to go. My head is on the ground. And you can say you'll be my friend. It don't mean anything at all. I don't need a hand up, don't lie, I didn't fall. Up there's the bottom of the shelf. I can't fall down from here. I don't understand myself. It's like when I was 3. I can't fall down from here. The underside of things I see. And you can't lie to me again, oh, but you can't let me down. I've got nowhere else to go. My head is on the ground. And you can say you'll be my friend. It don't mean anything at all. I don't need a hand up, don't lie, I didn't fall. I just lay down is all. Gonna lie down on the kitchen floor. I can't fall down from here. I can't fall down from here. I can't fall.
Bravo.
Jim.
Bravo, Jim Infantino.
Nice.
Oh man, thank you so much for coming here tonight, Jim. I know you got little kids and you had to escape out of your house in order to do this in your office, so I'm so glad. We're gonna put some information in the chat about your show that you do every other Saturday. Will you hang around? We go around one more time and play another tune for us, Jim?
Yeah, totally. I just want to say I had to change it to Thursday because of a birthday. So
Oh.
it'll be a Thursday, not a Saturday next one. Yeah,
Oh, good.
but it'll
But
be
we'll
in
have all. Does Brandon have the information?
Yeah, I sent it to him. I sent him the right
Oh,
one.
great. Well, well, next time around we'll talk a little bit. But thank you for that tune. Let's hear it again for Jim Infantino. Come on, you people. Yeah. All right. So now I wasn't sure, like you never know who's gonna show up at these things. But now I see my friend Haley is here. Haley Reardon. Really one of my favorites, really. This is like a night full of my favorites. So Haley has a show coming up at the Me and Thee, which is a fantastic venue in Marblehead, Massachusetts, and it's going to stream out, and that's pretty soon. So Haley, would you play a song for us and talk and let us know when the date is for your show?
Yes. Thank you, Dawn. Thank
Sure.
you, Jim and Steve. This is so fun. Beautiful. Oh, I'm getting like an Adobe pop-up. My show at the Me and the live stream show is on Friday, September 4th. So not tomorrow, the Friday after. And I haven't done any of the like public live streams. So if anyone wants to check it out, I would much appreciate that. It'll be, you'll find it on the Me and These page, my page. But yeah, this is a song called Everything Else. I was just a kid back then, but I didn't fall in love like one. I was just the morning's friend, trying to make a way for the sun. I was just a flower child, digging in the dirt all day, hoping that I just might grow, growing up to be okay. Over, under, breathe in thunder. I am not myself. I won't forget me like I forget everything. Say, now it's the way it goes. Every time you hold my hand, I can feel the burning stars just above a breaking man. Oh, and you're breaking heart. It's hard to make a clear-cut blame, 'cause don't you know the broken break and the breakers stay the same. Over, under, breathe in thunder. I am not myself. I won't forget me like I forget everything. Say, and I might say, if not myself. And I might say, for cover, hold each other, no one's giving out. I won't forgive me like I forget. I won't forgive me like I forget. I won't forgive me like I forget. I won't forgive me like I forget.
Yeah.
Woo! All right. Thank you, Haley.
Ooh, thanks so much.
Wow.
Oh, Haley Reardon, you are
Oh,
the man. You
beautiful.
are something else. So Haley, you'll hang around. We'll go around one more time, and we can chat a little bit, let people know a little bit about you. Is that okay?
Yes, sounds good.
You're young, you stay up late, right? The rest of us, we're the ones thinking about bed, not you. All right. So here, look at this, and now another surprise friend of mine, Jimmy Tingle. You here?
Woo!
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Jimmy Tingle.
Bingo!
You just got is his picture up there? Is he gone off to somewhere else? There he is.
There he is.
Tingle.
Brother
Right.
Don,
So let me.
how
this
are
time-
you?
Well, you probably think everyone in the world knows who you are, but I'm
No, I
gonna
don't.
So Jimmy Tingle is a
I hope
good friend of
not.
mine. I first met him at Catch a Rising Star when we were doing a comedy together there. I was just starting out, and he was something of a veteran, and he was looking to stretch out. Do you remember this, Jimmy? Like
Yeah.
you were saying, man, I wish I could play someplace where I didn't have to be funny every minute. I could do stuff more serious. I could, I could just, take a serious minute in a second. And we wound up doing some shows together where we're doing like folk clubs and all that. But now he's something of a legend around here doing, humor and politics, and just a great friend to everybody. That's one thing that I really want to say about this guy here is that his heart is huge, man, and he will help anybody, anytime, to the detriment of his wife's financial status, I think is what he told me at one point. But so Jimmy, if you don't mind, can you do 5 minutes or so, and then we'll come around
Sure.
again to you again? Is that okay?
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
First of all, Don, thank you for doing this. Thank you for all the great work you've been doing on behalf of the folk community and the performing community during this pandemic. It's been a crazy time, but you are one of the bright lights in this whole
Yeah.
thing. You've been awesome, man. You've been just awesome. So I get so much out of it. And you introduced me to Brandon. You're a great tech person too. And he's been helping me out with a lot of shows that we've been doing. So just, Don, going back to those days in like the 90s at Catch a Rising Star, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I mean, for example, they're still complaining about the post office, Don. I can't believe it. They're complaining about the post office. Okay? For 55 cents, a person comes to a box in my neighborhood, picks up my message, delivers it anywhere in the United States of America for 55 cents. What's the problem? What you want change? Tip the guy 3 cents. You can't pay a 4-year-old American kid 55 cents to lick the stamp. I want a dental plan. You have no teeth. So they're complaining about it now, 55 cents. But when Dawn and I met each other, I think it was in the late 80s when I first started doing comedy, okay? I was on Star Search. I don't want to brag, but I was on Star Search, okay? And when I was on Star Search, I did the bit about the stamp. So I'm saying, for 15 cents, a guy comes to a box in your neighborhood, picks up your message, delivers it anywhere in the country, 15 cents. What's the problem? 10 years later, we're on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson for 25 cents. A guy comes to a box in your neighborhood. Right? 5 years later, I'm on 60 Minutes 2 with Dan Rather for 34 cents. A man comes to a box in your neighborhood. Now it's 55 cents to mail a letter. It's still a great deal. My point is the price of a stamp has increased what, 300% over the last 30 years. And I was thinking if the price of a stamp increases 300% every 30 years, 60 years from now, I'll be 135 years old. Hopefully, I'll be on the Dawn White after party. Performing for your grandchildren, you kids. Have no idea how lucky you are to live in this great land. For $6, a man comes to a box in your neighborhood. Of course, and the people who oppose always angry about the post office, they want to privatize it, and like they're going to privatize it, like that's going to increase what the price is going to come down. What are we going to mail the letter to California for what, 52 cents? I don't think so. The price is always going to go up especially if you privatize it. The CEO of the post office right now makes $270,000 a year. They oversee 540,000 people, 32,000 post offices around the country, and 216,000 vehicles. They make $275,000 a year. Could you imagine how much they're going to have to pay a CEO to oversee that type of a monolithic industry if they privatize it? I think they're going to do it, and I think that this is how they're going to have to privatize it. They're going to have to do the math, how much it would actually take the cost to send a stamp to California. Under the current market conditions, to send a stamp to California from my house in Cambridge, okay, an Uber to Logan Airport is $50, okay? Airfare from Boston to LAX is $400, and an Uber to my sister-in-law's house in Santa Monica is $35. So if they privatize the post office, it's going to cost me to send a Christmas card to my sister-in-law in Santa Monica will cost $485.
Oh my
But of course, you got to pay. On the bright side, though, it will reduce the lines at the post office for sure, because nobody is going to stand in line to buy a stamp for $485. So, Dawn, I would love to come back in a few minutes if you'll have me.
Yes, of course. Let's hear it for Jimmy Tingle.
All right, Jimmy.
All right. So I'm just so happy. Look at me. This is what I look like when I'm happy. All right. Let's get our jazz combo up here. Steve Burke, can you grab that microphone? I just want to talk to you a little bit.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. So Steve Burke is a Lynn kid. You went to Berkeley at least for a while. Is that true? Yeah.
For a little while, yeah.
Yep. And then you went to New York City a while back, and then wound up making your living as a studio musician or something. Just give us a little bit of that.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. You know, as a musician, you got to pick up whatever work you can get. But fortunately, most of it's been music related, so it's been all right.
So this is a guy that takes his music really seriously. Noah, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. What's up, everybody? It's really
Okay.
nice to be here. Thanks so much for having me be a part of your community.
Where were you raised at, Noah?
I was actually raised in Syracuse, New York, and there's a great little community of jazz musicians there who are all incredible musicians and incredible educators. So I had a good time growing up there.
Well, what about early influences? Who did you like when you were coming up?
Oh man, good question.
I thought so.
I would say a guy named Brad Meldau is probably my biggest influence of all time.
So you want to spell that last name for me?
Yeah, Meldau is Mehdau.
All right. So I got a new name for me.
Yeah, otherwise just people like Bill Evans was a huge one for me, and I know for Steve too. And also just a lot of film music, actually. I kind of grew up obsessing over Danny Elfman, so like like Nightmare Before Christmas.
There you go.
Like that.
Well, listen, will you guys do another tune for us? I'm so glad that you're here, and it means a lot to me to have you guys here and to stretch. I think that I just want I want comedians and poets and storytellers and jazz musicians and banjo players. If I can find a guy to play the bagpipes, I'll have him come in here too. I just want it to be as stretched out and interesting as it possibly can be. So if you guys don't mind, play another song for us, and we would love that.
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah.
Just say thank you to Don for having us. I've known Don for a long time, and it's always good to see him, and this was a real treat. And also thank you to Jim and Haley and Jimmy. You guys were great. So we're going to, I just wanted to introduce the very first song, if anyone was still there from the very beginning of the night. That was a song of mine called You Old Dog. And then that previous song that we just played was an unnamed song of Noah's. And this final song that we're going to play is called Great Leap Forward, and it was written by me a couple years ago. So, yeah, so I'm just going to swap over this mic to the keyboard, so give me one quick second, and then we'll get into it. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bravo, bravo.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Wow. Bravo.
All right. Woo!
Man. The future of the country. There it is right there, boys and girls.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. So their information, Steve's information is in the chat. You know, this would be a good band to hire for a certain function or something. We do these things online now. We got some young musicians who can play just about anything. Keep them in mind. Let's hear it again one more time for Steve and Noah.
Great job, guys.
All right, let's see what Jim Infantino has in store for us. Where are you, Jim? Let's see. Oh, there he is. Can we spotlight Jim, please? That'd be great. There you are. So, Jim, let's talk for a minute. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Right. So you were born in New York City, born and raised in New York City, right?
I was in Manhattan.
I got to be in your down there with your family one time. It's a great place that you grew up. A lot going on there.
Yeah. It's actually it's a lot nicer now.
Now that you've moved out, is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah. The neighborhood improved as soon as I left. You came to first started playing in the Boston scene late '80s. Am I right about that? Yeah, I moved up here in '88, in the summer of '88, as a matter of fact. And I remember because it was really hot that summer.
How many albums have you made?
10 or 11, I think. It depends. A bunch of, I did cassettes for a while. We all did cassettes. And those were albums. They were just kind of, run off one by one on my tape-to-tape player.
You got some 8-tracks out there, too.
I wanted an 8-track. I think Chris Chandler actually made an.
So, and the band that you play with is called Jim's Big Ego?
Yep. It's actually the thing that I am struggling most with about the COVID thing is that I can't get together with my band.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll be able to do that sometime. But I'm really glad to see you. Glad to be your friend, and I just, you know how I feel about the way you write and what you write. I just think you're one of the best. So thanks for being here. And if you'd play another song for us, that would be great.
Totally. I just changed my strings, so they're a little misbehaving a little bit. We drive crazy, although we know the smoke is killing us, because we like to go that way, the 405 to the 10 into Los Angeles. The meters on the freeway into heaven, LA, yeah, we're bound away. Years ago, my great Aunt Boo drove a yellow Cord with her husband George from Signal Hill to Malibu. You had to be crazy to live here then. All gone now to Standard Oil, Mulholland, and the market crashed. Los Angeles. The meters on the freeway into heaven, LA, yeah, before George and Boo lost everything in 29, and he left her for a speakeasy girl on Olivera Street. Crazy how things can change. Before he called out for her near his death, and she came to hold him in her arms. Before the oil, this place was like a desert. Someday I may be some great something to someone. And will that child be dreaming about me? And that great brave space that was crazy before it changed. Before it changed, 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 before it changed. Los Angeles, the meters on the freeway into heaven. LA, yeah, we're bound our way.
Wow. Thank you, Jim.
That was awesome, Jim. Is that something new?
No, it's oh boy, I wrote that a while ago. I can't say the year.
Yeah, that's one I haven't heard before. Beautiful, nicely done,
Thank you.
Jim. So Jim's show, it's in the it's going to be Thursday, the next one.
Yeah, it's usually Saturday at 5, but next week is problematic for that, so it's Thursday at 7.
I catch them as often as I can. I'll watch them on YouTube if I can't catch them. They're very informal. Jim just sits and chats with folks, and they toss out song ideas, and it's really very comfortable to be there, and to he makes it nice. He makes it really relaxed and comfortable. So the information's there in the chat. If anyone wants to see him, let's hear it again for my friend Jim Infantino, please.
Thank you, Don.
And he's got 10 CDs. You know, those of you that still buy them, go ahead, buy one. So now, Haley, so let's see. This is how this thing is going to go. We're going to get you out of here in the 9:30 zone probably. So Haley, we'll get Haley to do a song, Jimmy to do some more, and then I'll play a song to end, and that'll do it. So Haley Reardon, where are you, girl? Let's see. Square number 15, there you are. So Haley, let's talk a little bit before we do this. So you, we're all set to go to Europe again, right? When this all happened, right? So you want to talk to us about your Europe travels and all that, like what you had done there before and how it was building up and all that?
Yeah. Well, in 2019, I just happened to, I went on multiple different tours of like Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Denmark, some Scandinavia, Sweden. So it turned out that I was in Europe for like almost 6 months of the year on and off touring. And I loved it. And one night I played this little hole in the wall bar in Dachau, Germany, right near Munich, which Dachau we know because of horrible reasons. There was a concentration camp there. And somebody at the club that ran the show was like, "Let me show you something. Do you wanna see something?" And they brought me to this beautiful villa, and they were like, "This was left to the town by this artist, and we run this artist residency program where we have international artists come and live in this building because they're trying to, bring creative life and energy back to a city that's like, you can really feel the trauma in the land when you're there." And so I was offered to do that. So I was planning to move and start my residency and be based in Dalhousie for 6 months and work on a creative project where I engage with the community there. But then Corona, happened. So I'll go hopefully next year and keep touring and live in Germany and see what it's like.
What a life you're having. Good life for you, and it's well deserved. You're very, your stuff is just so, it reaches so many people on so many levels. I'm glad to be your friend, and I'm glad that you're here. September what for your show with the Me and Thee?
September 4th at 8 p.m. Yeah, if you want to get a reminder, you can RSVP to info@meandthee.org, or you can just show up on Facebook or YouTube at that time. But there's a link via the Me and Thee site that Brandon is so good. He already posted. Thank you, Brandon.
And this is going to be the first time you will have done a full online show?
Yeah, because I've only done private ones like this, like Zoom, but I haven't done one proper live stream. So this is...
All right, so everybody mark that down. And Haley, I love you. So would you play another tune? And appreciate that you being here.
Yes, thank you for having me, Don.
Sure.
You're the best. Okay, I'm gonna take this opportunity to test out a brand new song I just wrote a couple days ago. So we'll see. This is called Bleed Together. And I keep telling myself, put it all in a song. It's a lot cleaner than calling. I'm still telling myself that I can't get it wrong. It's all just us spinning and falling. And I used to pray to your dad. I don't think I ever told you that. And when we slept beside each other, our dreams would bleed together. And I've been thinking about everything I shoved down, everything that I left unspoken. But I guess you figured it out, 'cause I left it to you to decipher what I couldn't bear to. I used to pray to your dad. I don't think I ever told you that. And when we slept beside each other, our dreams would bleed together. Is there a little room inside of you where I will always be a window looking out on everything, a nosebleed seat? And I don't need to fill a stadium, just a single chair to know that everything that burns in me will burn in you somewhere. And I used to pray to your dad. I don't think I ever told you that. And when we slept beside each other, our dreams would bleed together. Our dreams would bleed together. Our dreams would bleed together.
Woo! That's great.
Thank you.
That is
Thank you.
great.
Thanks for having me.
Oh.
Great one. Great one.
Awesome.
That's a keeper, Haley.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Haley and I have known each other since she was 12 years old, and she's, it's weird to have a friend that's 40 years older than, but Haley really is my friend, and she's smarter than me. She's smarter than everybody, as far as I know. But she's like, when I have songwriting questions, I'll reach out to her and all that. So that song that I sang earlier in the show that I've been working on, we've been sort of working on it together a little bit, her and I. So I'm really glad that she's here. I'm really glad. I think you should all go and see her. I'm glad you get to know her a little bit, those of you that don't. And let's hear it again one more time for Haley Reardon. All right, let's see. Let's get to Tingle up here and see what he has to say. You know, what song are you gonna sing, Jimmy?
Well, I'm gonna sing the Haley Reardon praises, ladies and gentlemen. Really, I really identify with you, Haley. I've been to Europe too. I don't want to brag. I've been to Europe, and I just like to say, excellent country. Now, let me say. I actually did the Edinburgh Arts Festival over there back in the day, back in the 90s. A lot of fun, great stuff. And I was also traumatized, and obviously, like everybody else, with the pandemic, horrible. I don't know about you, I don't know about everybody else, but I was paranoid. My wife was really paranoid. I'm thinking, just the way it came out, and people say, if you do this, like if somebody shakes your hand, well, if they get it, do I get it? It was like very fearful time. Tom Hanks, when Tom Hanks came down, when he said he tested positive, I'm like, oh my God, if I watch Forrest Gump, am I at risk? And wash your hands, don't touch your face. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. I was so paranoid. I was washing my hands before I showered. In the shower, I wouldn't touch my face. So my hands were absolutely immaculate. My face was a mess. It didn't matter because I couldn't leave the house. So it didn't really bother me. But I want to say that I want to thank first of all, the elected officials. The $3 trillion that they put into the economy really helped a lot of people, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, all the artists, Don, you probably were able to collect. I know a lot of people were able to. And I was able to, and I was very fortunate about that. And they gave a lot of money away, $3 trillion. I think we could have done a little negotiating though with some of the big companies. They gave the airline industry a $50 billion bailout, $50 billion. I'm saying we should have negotiated with the airline industry. We give them $50 billion. They give us more leg room. I think that would have been a good little trade. That's not that hard to negotiate. 50 billion for 3 more inches. I don't think that's too bad. Delta, right before the pandemic hit, I flew Delta. Delta has a new slogan: we're making the world smaller. Yes, starting with the size of the seats. Oh man, but this is a big election coming up, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to encourage everybody to do whatever you can. Volunteer, you will not regret it. I did some volunteer, and my friend Kara is on the line today. She can tell you, she'll put a link. Kara, put a link in the chat room of where people can volunteer and be effective, not only in Massachusetts, but around the swing states, around the country. Making phone calls primarily is a thing we can do now. Because I ran for office in 2018. I ran for lieutenant governor, and I have to say, excellent experience. First time running for public office, first time running, I got 213,313 votes. First time running, came in second place. Excellent. The bad news, 2-person race. So let me say this. I am a seasoned political operative. And one of the best things we can do, and you will never regret it, is volunteer. Do something to help your team, help your party. It's a blast. And you meet like-minded people and you feel good. If your side wins, you feel good. If they lose, at least you tried. 2016, I was holding a sign for Hillary Clinton, Central Square, Cambridge. My job was to hold the sign and get young people coming up out of the subway to the polls. Now, Haley, maybe you can tell me something I did wrong about this. I got my sign. I'm out there on election day. Let's do this, people. Let's do this. It's election day. Let's elect the first woman president of the United States of America. Let's do this. People are coming up out of the subway, got the headphones on. They're not listening to me. They're oblivious to what I'm saying. I start getting upset. After 2 or 3 hours of this, I start getting upset. I start making things up just to get their attention. Listen, you kids. I did not risk my life at the Battle of the Bulge. So people could not vote on election day. They're out there walking past me, oblivious, not even listening. 2 hours later, I get even more bizarre. Listen, you people. I did not take a musket ball to the knee at the Battle of Bunker Hill so young professionals in Cambridge could squander their constitutional rights to vote. This kid comes up to me, about 19 years old, dead serious, looks me in the eye and says, "Thank you for your service." Now, I know we're all getting older, but 241? Be honest, I look pretty good for 241. Thank you again, Don. Great to see Jim and Haley and Steve and Neil and all you guys. Love you all. Love Kara. Put the link in the chat, Kara, where people can get in directions. Thank you.
Jimmy, you got anything coming up? Any events or?
As a matter of fact, Don, and this is a venue I want to talk to you about, Payomet. The Payomet Center for the Performing Arts in Truro, Mass. I'm there Saturday night. They're doing drive-in shows. So it'll only be my second live performance in 6 months. So I'm looking forward to that. I was there about a month ago. That's a lot of fun. And I'll be doing some online stuff. It's all on the website, jimmytingle.com. And if anybody's looking for a comic or an MC or anything, or you're doing open mic nights and I can do 5 minutes, I'd love to do it. So let me know. Thank you so much, everybody.
All right, Jimmy. Thank you,
Don.
buddy.
Love you, man.
All right. Thanks, man.
Woo!
Well,
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you.
You know,
I'm doing Tim Mason's birthday party Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Brother Tim, good to see you on the call.
That's right. Tim Mason from New Mexico. So who do we have here? We got New Mexico, we've got Kansas, we've got Nebraska, and we've got, and of course, the People's Republic of Cambridge.
Right.
Well, I feel good. I'm so exhausted all the time. I've never worked so hard in my life and never left my house. I don't know what. The world is completely upside down. Like, I wasn't this exhausted when I was on 50 airplanes and renting cars and driving all night. For some reason, I'm just working really hard. But whenever we get to this point where I've been with my friends and we're sharing art and learning about each other, I just feel better. And so I'm so grateful to you all, not just the folks that come, but the artists and everybody. So Jimmy and Jim Infantino and Haley, of course, and all you guys, if you've ever got anything that you want to promote, even if I'm all filled up at the night, just pop in and we'll get you in and let people know what you're doing. And so thank you all so much. I have a couple of cool things coming up. On Monday, I'm doing a show for a storytelling festival out of Kentucky called the Cave Run Storytelling Festival. And that's going to be wild. I'm going to lean a little more on storytelling, and it's going to be a pretty big event, I think, you know, because it's a big festival and it's the first thing that they're doing. And then after, we're having a story circle. So I have Bill Lepp, who's really something in the world. He's going to come, and Sheila Arnold, and a bunch of storytellers there. So if that's something that sounds good to you, that's Monday. And then a week from today, is that the 3rd of September, then I'm doing a thing for the Sober in the Sun Festival. So it's the biggest sober festival in the world, I think. And I've been a closing act at it for 30 years, and they of course lost all their, you know, they can't do it, so we're going to raise money for them, and that's going to be next Thursday. So I hope I see you there. I'm going to play this song for my friends from Nebraska. I know they like it, and since September is right here, this is called Away from the Sun. It's a song for my wife and I as we settle into to September. And thank you, everyone. I mean it. I don't know if I look as happy as and fulfilled as I am, but I am. I feel great. I just feel better doing this and being with you all. So thanks. I don't want to slobber on you anymore. So I should play a song and get the hell out of here. All right. Anybody wants to hang around after, we'll chat and, you know, anything like that. But you're free to go. Thanks to all of you on Facebook and on YouTube too. September comes subtle, a chill in the breeze. I reach for my sweater. I know what this means. Warm days are not over. The change has begun. subtle but steady, the world tilts away from the sun. The summer was fruitful, the harvest looks good. Our family prospered like we hoped it would. Our struggles were many, those struggles are done. Come sit by my side while the world tilts away from the sun. Away from the sun, away from the sun. Most hardly notice, but we know this change has begun. Change has begun. Change has begun. Subtle but steady, the world tilts away from the sun. On a world full of wonder, we spin through the sky, yelling, fighting, growing, and wondering why. While a big ball of fire above us looks down, shining warm light upon us as we spin around and around. Away from the sun, away from the sun. Most hardly notice, but we know this change has begun. Change has begun. Change has begun. Subtle but steady, the world tilts away from the sun.
Aaron's still there.
Let's spend all the money on laughter and song. Let's dance with these bodies till these bodies are gone. And when it's all over, you will know that it is true. My life only had meaning 'cause I got to share it with you. September comes subtle, a chill in the breeze. I reach for my sweater, I know what this means. Warm days are not over, but change has begun. Come sit by my side while the world tilts away from the sun.
Beautiful, Dawn.
Dawn.
Beautiful.
Great.
Woo!
Mother Dawn.
Thank you to everyone, to my friends, my little Zoom army. Thank you, everybody. So, that's it. The music entertainment part of this thing is over. You can unmute yourselves if you want to talk, or you could just go home. You already are home, so I don't know how that works. Jen, why don't you unmute and talk to me just for a second?
And
Can you do that with your baby? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Jen.
Go ahead, Jen.
Hey,
So how's your baby?
she's doing good. Y'all need to mind your business.
Yeah, you're talking to me or the dog?
Dog.
So you're in Michigan, and that's a brand new baby, and you've been a fan of mine since you were a little girl, right? Like your dad
Yep.
used to bring you to my concerts. Man, am I feeling old right now, Jen? I'm feeling old, I gotta tell you. But I'm really
Yep.
happy to see you and happy to see that you look so happy and so well. And I know it was not an easy birth. Is that right? Right? You had all
Yeah.
kinds of complications
She
and
almost killed me twice.
she almost killed your choice. Well, to wait till they're
Almost.
teenagers, then it's daily. and it's intentional. But I'm really happy to see you. Much love to you, and thanks for
Thank
popping
you.
in. You know, you anytime you need a little breather, you come see me on Thursday night, and I'll take care of you just the way I have
Yeah.
since you've been a little kid, right?
Yep.
All right. Let's
Thank
see.
you.
You're welcome.
Don, what is the food pantry? Which food pantry is it? The
Steve,
Baptist?
Steve, will you talk about
Yes,
Is that the Mansfield food
Our
pantry?
Daily Bread's in Mansfield, Massachusetts.
Okay. I daily bread. Okay.
Yeah, and so thanks for all of you who donated. We're gonna
Links in the chat, Jim.
we're gonna
Hey, Jimmy, just to make it sure you know, I know Don and Brandon. So we're doing an old Vienna reunion, big deal thing. Used to be my birthday show, which was Sunday the 30th. This Sunday the 30th, I'll do a little Zoom thing for Old Vienna Stories.
Okay.
We are moving the main event to the 13th of September.
Okay.
Hosting it with Dom Flemons and bringing in a whole bunch of really talented tech people to try to put this Zoom thing on steroids. But this Sunday, if you want, you can hit me a message. Old Vienna Stories. Let's hear about Mike Duffy. And September 13th, we'll have more info on the main event.
Cool, man. Thanks, man. Thanks, Tim.
What time Sunday, Tim?
Sunday, it's going to be 5 Eastern time. But shoot me a private message, CC, and I'll shoot you the link.
Got it.
For those of you that don't know about the Old Vienna Coffeehouse, I don't know what to say about it except that I owe my career to it and probably to Tim Mason. Tim Mason ran this venue. It was a 100-seat venue in Worcester, Mass. That had no business being a venue, really. You know, like it wasn't wheelchair accessible. It was like the opposite of wheelchair accessible. There was a guy in a wheelchair that they carried up. What was it, 40 steps or something there? Like that guy risked his life every time he came to this show. And
he came a lot.
And he came all the time. It was a 100-seat room, and Tim figured out a bunch of stuff like how to Arlo Guthrie played in it, and Roger McGuinn, and everybody played in this little 100-seat room. But then he had an open mic on Thursdays, and Jim Infantino was part of that scene. We all came up that way. Brian Dozer, he's here. He was part of it too. And what was unique about it, I think, looking at all the open mics I've seen since then, is that Tim was always there. The guy who did the booking was always there, and he was watching talent, watching people develop. And when they got to a certain level, he would book them as openers for the headliners. And so the whole mess of us got to build our careers off of other people's fan bases because Tim wasn't in the back room counting the money or whatever. Like there are lots of times in the venues, the guy who does the booking isn't nowhere to be found. He was there, he had a hands-on thing with it, and the whole goal was to build talent. It was like we were like the minor leagues, like the open micers. We were like the minors hoping to get to the game, hoping to get to the show. And Tim did that. And so it's been 30 years or so since it's been shut down, and we're going to gather up the relics of all the old folk singers, what's left of the folk singers from the old Vienna, and have this. I bet it'll be 5 hours, that thing on the 13th.
I'm thinking it probably will be, but since my birthday's the 30th and my good friend Dom Flemons' birthday is also the 30th, so Dom, he's got he's turning like 38, and he's got the Carolina chocolate drops and all that. contemporary stuff. So it's not just going to be us relics. We got a little bit of transgenerational relevance going on.
Yeah, but you'll only be 39, Tim. So you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm stalled there. I was really bad at math.
Yeah. Hey, Don Flemings is unbelievable. Last time I saw him, he played the harmonica with his nose. You know, really well. Nobody wanted to use it after, but he did a good job with it. That guy's really something. So yeah, I would recommend that highly. You know, make a big pot of coffee, take a nap at the 2-hour segment. You know, it's a marathon that thing's gonna be. But Dar Williams is gonna be there and all kinds of fun, right? Yeah. So yeah.
Christine
Lavin, of course.
And then Lucy Blue Tremblay. Wow. And Bill Bourne, Juno Award winner from up in Edmonton.
Wow.
And we've got a lot of the old school slam poets from the 90s. Danny Solis, Reggie Gibson, Ray McNeese, Rick McIntyre.
Oh, you know there's going to be trouble when there's slam poets there.
Yeah. This morning I had a conversation with Duncan Phillips, Utah Phillips' son. Really? So we'll have a tribute to Utah Phillips, and Duncan will be joining us. So we're going to give a nod to Eric.
And Brandon's going to work this show. Brandon, are you going to be like, you're going to need to be well rested before this thing. But...
Yeah, I'll be fine, man.
Always are, Brandon. You always are.
Like poets and folk singers and everybody on a different device. Yeah.
It's going to be a catastrophe. I'm going to love
it. Not just. We got a few tricks up our sleeve for that, too.
Yeah.
You know, it's a
high quality catastrophe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking a lot about that place. I'm really talking to you lately. If anybody remembers that first album of mine, that's that story, Taj Mahal, My Ass, that was about the old Vienna. You know, Tim gave me my first open mic, my first opener ever. He let me open for Taj Mahal, and man, I had driven out to the old Vienna. I had heard about it. You know, I was numbered 71 on the list. You know, by the time I got to play, they were putting the chairs on the tables. You know, like I played to the unhappy waitress there, and I drove home thinking, I'm never going back to that place. Oh, that place sucks. I'm not going to it. The next day I get a call from this guy Tim Mason. I want you to open for Taj Mahal. I'm like, you know, I really love that venue you got.
Look where you are today.
It's you know, I got a lot of memories out there, so I'm glad I lived long enough to see the reunion.
Yeah, and Jimmy and Brandon, you guys inspired me with the Ding Ho. So
good.
See what you did? Goes around, comes around.
Good. Brandon did a fabulous job. Get a couple of tech people. You know, get a couple of.
Yeah. You don't know the half of what I've got cooked up.
Jimmy, you would be impressed with the team that Tim pulled together. Honestly, I'm pretty blown away by all the heavy artillery we're going to be bringing to bear that day.
Oh, great.
That's saying something.
That's great. That's great. Hey, you guys, good night, everybody.
Good night,
great
everyone.
to see you all. Don, thank you so much for the invitation.
Anytime, Jimmy. Just your Thursday night, just pop in, okay, buddy?
Take care, buddy. Jimmy. Good to see you.
Take care, everybody. Be safe.
Right, Jimmy, take care.
Happy trails. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Haley. Thank you, Jim Infantino. See you later. Bye, Haley.
Thank you. It was unbelievable meeting you, Haley. I never saw your work before. It's unbelievable.
Oh, same here. Same here. It's so beautiful to listen. So I love this. Thank you for connecting us.
You know the deal, Haley. Anytime you want to pop in, try out a new song or promote something, it's Thursday nights. You know, I don't care if there's 20 people in the after party, all guests. I'll push one of them out of the way. You can come in and sing a song out of that song. All right.
Haley, I just got to say, if I may, your one line of I could fill an arena or one chair will stay with me forever. That's a killer. That's taking it all the way home.
Oh, thank you. Wow. Okay. See, good. I can test out my new songs. Thank you for saying that.
I loved it too, Haley.
Just slaughtered me. It was a gorgeous line.
And it's so true, though. It's really true.
Just one chair.
And love you, Don. You're just a part of my heart. Ever since the first time I drive in cab and I heard you on the radio, and I had to pull over and cry.
Well, mostly people cry because my singing is so bad, but I appreciate it.
Oh,